Estate at the University of Cape Town and project planning and management at the University of Zimbabwe. So please, if you could help me welcome Val Musoni on to the Morning Galaxy. Shout out and good morning to you, Valerie.
Good morning, Erica, and good morning, everyone else.
I'm gonna have you move closer to the mic a little bit and take it in one more time. Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning, Erica, and good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Valerie. Property is it's something that is so watered down, and I've come to notice that it's got not an age limit to it, but an age to it. 18 going down, yeah, we don't care much. 18 going to 21, we are there, and now we're just starting to find out, you need to be a little bit more responsible in life. And then I think when we hit 25 and going up to our serious months, now we're looking for stands. Now we need to understand how many square meters one needs, and. So in your words, if I were to come to you, let's put it as a 20-year-old, and I say, Valerie, I need to get my life together. I need to get property. What is property? Why do I need property? What kind of property do I need? What kind of salary bracket should I be a part of to be able to acquire property? Maybe if we could start with those, first primary questions.
That's a very good question, Erica. And you find nowadays we're encouraging young people to start early, to start thinking about property and investing in property. Property is a wide topic, but for this show, we're going to be talking about the tangible property. That is a house, land, So as a first-time investor, you're talking about in your 20s, right? So thinking about property, where do you want to buy your property, and look at your budget, right? It's one of the biggest things or biggest investment in one's life, and it's very important for you to be composed about it, to really think it through and weigh your options. How much do you have? Where can I buy my property? I know it's everyone's dream to go to the northern suburbs, to go to Borodale, etc. But how much money do you have, or how much money can you save? And you can buy property anywhere in Zimbabwe.
Valerie, let's talk about the types of properties, common types of properties that there are. I do know that we can talk about residential. I don't think if we starting at a primary age, we want to look into commercial, but just maybe you could add on to that.
Yes, residential being number one at such an age, at a young age, and you can be acquiring a house or land. Most people, young people, are looking at buying land initially, and then they will build on the land. The reason being that land is affordable if you don't really have much in your savings, or if you don't have a huge inheritance, or if your family hasn't given you a bit of money or etc. to be able to buy a house. So I would actually encourage young people to start off by buying land, yes, to build a house.
In general, I've heard about freehold and non-freehold. What is the difference there before we get into buying property?
All right, when we talk about freehold, we're talking about land with title deeds. So it can be individually owned, or it can be an institution. So there has to be a title in. Has no expiration. When I say no expiration, is you fully own it. It doesn't have terms. It's not limited. The land that you're going to purchase, and also you have rights over the land. That's freehold. And then we've got non-freehold, whereby it's also termed leasehold estate. So what it means is that you have it for a time. It's got an expiration. So it can be a lease for 99 years, like
usually happens with farms, eh?
Yes, yes, that's right. So it has an expiry time. And with the freehold, you can lease it. You can do whatever you want with it, and you can also model it, renovations, etc. Obviously, according to the local regulations, you have to take that into consideration.
If you're just joining us, thank you so much for making us your station of choice at Star FM. And we've just gotten into a new segment, and we are running a new series on property. And in this new segment, we look at becoming a homeowner and also the benefits and challenges, pitfalls, and the process that comes with acquiring property and also talking real estate. Now, we must put a disclaimer. Please note that we are just giving out information and advice that we believe to be accurate, and we also recommend that you make thorough checks before entering into any deals. Valerie, so many times we go onto the internet or read on tabloids, people are getting duped when it comes to property. People are buying double sold stands. I hear of this everywhere that I go. How do you make sure that we acquire our property safely for, our financial safety, but also just like, your mental health? I know someone who was just breaking down because I think it was stand. How do you make sure that the property that you're buying is legit? And maybe if we can just also talk about the legitness when it comes to council regulations as well.
Thank you, Erica. Firstly, I would like to encourage people not to rush into deals. Most of the time we are under pressure. Someone comes to you. It can be someone selling their piece of land, and they mention a hot deal. Most of us get tangled up in hot deals. A hot deal can be really hot and you can get burnt. But you must make sure that you take your time. The process for you to get to that place of owning land that is clean, that is free of any challenges, is due diligence. The process of due diligence. I can't overemphasize that. The process involves multiple stages, that will help you as a prospective homeowner to secure property and, just make you comfortable and remove the pressure of getting it wrong. So the key to safe property acquisition is through the process of due diligence and legal procedures, adherence to legal procedures. There's a lot of, like you mentioned, that people are being swindled and etc. It's because at times we really don't have proper advice, and I would recommend that you use a registered realtor, real estate company. You can identify them if you go to the real estate agent council. They'll give you a list of reputable realtors. Talk to them. And also, if you're doing it by yourself, some people would rather just go it by themselves. Get a lawyer to help you. Get someone who knows, who's well vested in the land issues and conveyancing. I highly recommend you go and talk to qualified people, realtors and lawyers in the process.
We must also get into the properties that we see getting demolished from time to time again. I think to just put it in a simple way, what exactly happens, or what would have happened, what would have gone wrong when we see people's houses getting demolished in areas that look very well developed actually. In that case, how can one avoid that happening to them as well?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, the process of due diligence. You have to make sure that the documents that you're getting from the seller are correct. Even go to council. If it's got anything to do with council, like session, go to council offices and make your inquiries. Make sure that if it's from council, someone comes and says, I bought this land from council, etc. Make sure that the land offer is valid, right? Your allocation letter, you've got it. The agreement of sale, whether it's between government or council, because there's also government land, state land. Make sure that the documents are there, right? And then on private land, make sure that there's a subdivision permit that has been issued after the layout of plans. If you're buying like from a developer, make sure that all is done. There's a certificate of compliance that says that the developer has done all the necessary things to enable him to buy, to sell the land to you. So you need to be aware of such documents. And also with council or state land, you need approved layout plans, So you need to also make sure that they're in existence. So your first stop is to make sure that if you're buying a house or land, and they say that it's got title deeds, check that the title deeds are authentic. You go to the deeds office, etc. You go to council as well and check all other things. And yes, so involve all these institutions before you actually buy anything.
Let's talk about the budget decision to buy. So in so many cases, you get someone an 11,000 over, Tinga State with 11,000 anayo, but they don't look at their financial capacity to then build. Maybe the square meters are tenga or zanga chitarisira pa stand 11,000. So you have people sitting stand anayo, but they now can't build because anga snapta sakuti mari stand nayo. But do I see myself making enough money to even build kwanda tenga o? So budget decision buying. Would you prefer that people buy so that you don't end up just sitting with a stand? What say you on the budget decision?
That's very important. Where you buy, can you afford building the house? Or how long is it going to take you? I would recommend that if you've got enough money to buy the land, buy where you can afford, so that you don't end up having to borrow money, etc., and getting into trouble. And take time to raise more money for you to start